Hello, crafty friends. Sparkle here. Who's ready for another This and That Tuesday? Well, I had so much fun last week making our little house clusters that I decided to make some um, heart dingle dangle clusters. Again, using up that jewelry piece that I had separated last week. And I took the liberty of just assembling some little pieces. I made some dingle dangles with the beads that were in that collection, and just some random pieces. And I just put them on ball pins. So these are going to be my accent pieces down here. So I went ahead and made like 6 different ones so I can have some ready. Okay. And then I just picked some different centerpieces. This was a leftover piece of one of my wax seals, and I just put uh, it's like a sequin, but it's got a little shape. So I just took these out. I cut the backs off of some of these buttons, and I thought they could be some centerpieces. So to make my hearts, all I did was took a piece of cardstock, any color, and I cut it in half. You all know how to make hearts from your junior years. And then I just cut some random shapes, and I wasn't too worried about them. They're all different. I have some sets here. So I did that, and I don't like the way this one is on top, so I'm going to round it off. And then if I wanted to make a bigger one, like for the background of this, I took another piece, and for the bigger one, I just gave it a little bit of extra room all the way around so that when I cut it, so when I cut it, I'm just cutting it with a border. Okay, some of you might have heart punches. I have no big punches. I did have every punch in the world, but when I closed my craft Etsy shop years ago, I got rid of most of my stuff. So now when you open it, it'll work for this. Okay? You can trim it up as however you want it. And now if you want it smaller than this, you do the same thing. You take a piece of this, fold it, fold it on the line here, and this time go past the line. How did I do that? Okay. So to do bigger, oh, to do bigger, I went this way and cut around. To go smaller, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go within the circle and cut right flush with it. Okay, and yeah, so you have a bigger one, and once you trim it up a little bit, get it cleaned up the way you want it, round all your corners, then you have a smaller one. Okay, so I just used again papers from my scrap bin, and these are all kind of muted tones, and that's okay. Um, then I took some scraps of um, fabric, and this is what's on my desk, so I'll probably just be using that. Um, there's some red, but it's Christmas, so yeah, I think I'm just going to use this. You can use some of this, some old ribbon. Yeah, looks good to me. And what I did was I've already cut out some hearts, different sizes. This one is kind of round. This one is longer. And they're just random, okay? So you don't have to have a punch. You just use what you have again. You're going to get tired of hearing me say that. But, yeah. And then who's bugging me? Then I sewed on these. You certainly don't have to. You can just glue them down. But I've inked everything. This one I added a third one. So I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to go to the machine. I'm going to stitch all my hearts. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I stitched them, and I found the stitch. I only have a few stitches on my little cheapo Walmart brother machine, but I used this stitch because it reminded me of like a heart monitor, a heartbeat. Okay. Now you could have I could have layered all my elements and then stitched, but I didn't. I did it that way this time. So um yeah, I have this piece. I don't know where it goes. So anyway, they're done. Um, I need to trim them a little bit because the long strings bother me. I don't know why, but that's just me. So um, I stitched just for the texture. You could glue, like I said. You could add more layers of paper, but we're just going to okay, I can clean these up offline so that I don't sit here and drive you all nuts. Okay, they're fine. I know there's other people like me, but that's okay. So we have these here. So then the process is just, ugh, why do these bug me? I'm sorry. I say I'm going to let them go, and then I have to cut them because they're just sticking out looking at me. Okay. This one. All right. So you have some palettes here to work with, I always say. And you can just, just take a piece of fabric. Pull some strings off it if you want, or not. After I did those strings on those hearts, now I'm pulling these off. What a goofball. So we're gonna, I know, pretty much cover our stitches, but that's okay. And get some papers over here that we could tear up. And Actually, I should have did them differently. I should have layered, like in my samples, I layered my hearts and then I decorated them. But it's done now. So we're gonna roll with the flow. So that looks good there. Let's get a staple in there. Let's pick out an insert. That looks kind of cool. And I think this is going to be the dangle. So for my dangles, I'm just using my micro punch. To punch a hole down there. Let's glue our little wax seal down. Yep. Whenever I have overflows or I make something that didn't go where I thought it was going to go, I put it in my pile and then I try to bring it back and recycle it. So there you have it. We can add a word if we find some words here. Let's see. This says shake it off. Shake it off, Sparkle. So what if it didn't work out the way you thought? Well, there's your Heartfelt Dingle Dangle. So there you go. So on this one, you can use some book pages. And some tracing paper. Piece of lace. And let's put a red heart on this one. So we have our center there. And our heart can go here. Oh my goodness. I've got a leak in my bottle. So and then we're going to put this has a red. We'll put this red dangle on this one. And it just has some beads and one of the hearts. And we can find a word for that. Escape the ordinary. How's that sound? And some of these you could pop them up a little bit so they look 3D if you want. Okay. Cute. Like them. I like the different shapes of the hearts if they're not all the same. All right, let's do one more here. Here's a big one. So let's take this piece of fabric and let's take a piece of I always forget what this is called, tulle, and crisscross that, and put a stapler there, staple, and I have a red button, and I have another heart. We'll put the heart on here. So that's that. Oops. And I know there's some holes here from the stitching, so I'll just put it through there. There's another one, and we'll say just keep going. Yes, I definitely think this is one of my favorite things to do is to make clusters and dingle dangles. So these are going to be heartfelt dingle dangles. So what do you think? Cute? I think so. So I'll make a couple more and I'll be right back. So I like the variety of the different shapes and the different dangles you can create. This one says Chase the Sun and there's a little yellow button. And yeah, they're very addicting. Very addicting. So we just have a piece of lace. Put some paper there. We need our piece of fabric. Yeah. And just get it the way you want it. your staple in. And I think I'll put that on there, that brass one. And we can put this one on or the key. I think I'll put the key on. There's a little key and some pearls. So we'll put this one on. This one I need to punch a hole. Oops. And I need a word. I have the word beautiful here. Put that over here. So we have some bigger ones. We have some longer ones. We have some shorter ones. We have some stout ones. The sky's the limits, my friends. These would make awesome Valentine's trinkets to give in a little package. Put them on a candy bar or in a bouquet of flowers. You could take some of these little wooden clothespins, perhaps, and just clip it onto something. Or use a paper clip. So, create some and let me see what you make. I would love to see your take. Okay? So have a great day, my friends. Bye.